Hey, Mike Healy here, and welcome to the MLM Mastermind, where I am going to teach you how to build it bigger and faster using new systems and techniques that you have never heard before. I can almost guarantee you. So thank you very much for joining me today. This is going to be the actual first launch, the initial, inaugural publication of my podcast. I'm doing it obviously on video, as well as obviously you're hearing out on audio, depending on the device or where you're watching or listening to this. Real excited to be able to put this out. This is something I've been thinking about for quite some time now. And a little history on myself, just so you know that you might entice you to kind of listen a little longer, is the fact that I've actually been in the network marketing industry for about 23 years. I got involved in 1997. I did everything you could think of wrong until I finally started to figure out some things to do correctly. I have personally enrolled over 2,000 people in my career. I got to the, now to the point that I've actually built multiple teams and multiple companies in the tens of thousands of people multiple times, okay? I use all kinds of different techniques, different strategies, a lot of which are internet marketing strategies, all of which are based on old school principles, okay? So nothing's ever changed, but I believe that I can absolutely 100% teach you how to build this thing bigger and faster. And I'm gonna go into a lot of detail throughout the course of these podcasts and these messages out. I will obviously single things out for specific podcasts and so on, such as internet marketing, kind of ads, things like that, different techniques, strategies, behaviors that you can teach with people, just about anything you think of, okay? So I've been doing this a long time. But like I said, I got involved in 1997, kind of kicking and screaming. I was originally in the bar industry, wasn't looking to do anything, really I was just having a good time in a bar business. But somebody kind of took me to a presentation one time at a hotel. I saw it. I thought it looked pretty intriguing, pretty amazing, to the fact that somebody in front of the room who really gave a very boring presentation was making nearly $3,000 a month. And I thought, man, if that dude can do it, so can I. That was really how I got my career started. Never would have guessed that we would have been able to do this. I am married. I've got, happily married, by the way. I've got 3 kids. And the cool part is I have not missed any time with my kids due to the fact that I've created income through network marketing that allowed me to create, most importantly, freedom. Because I think that's the biggest thing people don't understand is that if done correctly, and with, usually a good company, obviously, you can actually plug yourself in and actually create an income that could generate a lifestyle for you, okay? Create a lifestyle that you'll be proud of. There is nothing to me more exciting than waking up when I'm done sleeping versus when I have to be somewhere, okay? And I learned that the hard way for many, many years, and I'm sure you're probably either experiencing it currently or you can kind of, relate to what I'm doing, okay? Now, here's the thing, is a little bit more in detail is I also, back about 11 years ago, I got involved heavily into learning internet marketing. And when I say internet marketing, it's not just, make a page and drive traffic to it, okay? It's way, way beyond that. I started really studying the psychology behind it. I started studying from some of the best in the industry, not just in network marketing, obviously, but internet real marketers out there with big companies, big corporations, and things like that, to the point that I actually have some side businesses where I actually contract myself out. I've built, I do marketing campaigns for companies, corporations, things like that, set them up entire strategies, content stacks, the whole 9 yards you can think of. And for some reason, I just found it fascinating. The one thing you will find, though, I think is going to help you and really get you to enjoy the podcast that I do and become a subscriber is the fact that I have this knack. This is kind of what people always tell me, is I have the ability a lot of times to take something that seems to be complicated and making it simple, something you can understand. Also, for some reason, my mind's always worked like, I guess I like to solve puzzles. And in fact, everything I look at is I always look at the strategy of how it's put together, how it can be developed strategically, how do you, get somebody from point A to point B, and so on, okay? Because here's the big thing, right here. Let me just throw this out to you because this is probably gonna resonate with you immediately, is network marketing has been working successfully. You cannot deny the billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars that people have earned over the years in network marketing, okay? The lives that have been changed. We can't deny that. It is one of the single biggest industries out there. A lot of people don't even understand how big it is. but because, you know, some people, they listen to Billy Bob Broken Poor, who said it didn't work, and that's their, you know, the initial thing on it. But we can't deny that. But here's the thing that I've learned, and I think this is why I have a significant advantage, and why whenever I do something, especially these days, to grow a business, to grow an organization, to recruit, things like that, that I have a significant advantage, is because I realized years ago that just like Blockbuster, okay, you can do something and it will work for a long time using old strategies, techniques, methodologies. But today's world is a Netflix world. Today's world is a Netflix world. And obviously you understand what I mean by that, okay? Everything has changed. The internet has absolutely changed, and most people, a lot of people that were very successful network marketers in the past, are actually struggling this day and age due to the fact that they have not kept up with the industry the way it was going. Not just the industry, but the way everything was going, how people communicated, what the strategies were for delivering content, and you know, getting messaging out and things like that. And I believe that for some reason, I think it's obviously, I do a lot of praying. I have a pretty good background in faith, and I do believe that those prayers have been answered by some of the things that have been directed to learn. And now I've seen them pay off. I've seen it pay off in spades. Now, obviously, when you're sitting in your room, you're watching YouTube videos, trying to learn strategies and techniques, and you're not making any money, it's not as much fun as it is today. But to come to look at this and kind of bring it all together of what's going on now, it's been an absolutely amazing. It's an incredible opportunity. So what my purpose is like I may have mentioned this. I actually have tried to re-record this a couple times. But what my purpose is in my podcast is to kind of give you different ways of thinking of things and approaching things, okay? Because you're also going to find that I am a very systems-oriented person, okay? And here's the thing. I think also it has to do a lot with, I do, believe it or not, I actually have a fairly introverted personality. I mean, I don't mind being by myself, going on bike rides by myself, going to a movie by myself. Even though I'm married and everything like that, it doesn't bother me. But where some people, they just freak out if they aren't talking to people. But it's also been able to allow me, I think, to really reflect on things that work and don't work. But what I would tell you is this: as I learned a long time ago, that to really grow a business, and this comes from marketing as well as organizations I've seen built back in the day in network marketing, that you have to learn how to get a systems dependent team versus a people dependent team. Okay. Now there's nothing wrong with people doing the best that they can. Obviously that's not what I'm saying, because a lot of people are very, very good in presentations. But I think there's a myth. There's a word out there that gets thrown around a lot of times that I think is a myth, and it is I think it hurts people in the fact that they say this thing called duplication. They say, hey, if what you're doing is not duplicatable, you should never do it, that kind of thing. And I agree to a point with that. But here's what I've seen is, if you become the center of attention, you become the message all the time, as opposed to the messenger, your business and your stuff really never grows. Your business will never grow. What I've learned how to do, and I heard this from a gentleman, and hopefully I'll remember this correctly, but he talked about the systems and using, looking at it from a real business perspective, which is what I believe I've done, and why my business looks like a real business and pays out like a real business, is because I've created systems to help people. Because he said that systems are the leverage by which you turn ordinary people into extraordinary performers. Great businesses do not look for extraordinary people. Great businesses create extraordinary systems and basically give them to ordinary people, and those ordinary people have success. Another thing that he pointed out that I thought was just as amazing, he said that there was a myth of motivation. We've all heard the fact that you have to motivate your people to go out there and rock this thing. Well, that's actually a lie as well, because just like like taking a shower, motivation lasts for just a temporary moment. But he said that if you want to, instead of trying to jack people up to do better, develop systems that help them get good results, and they will naturally be jacked up, which is completely different than what I was ever taught in network marketing. And so learning a lot of these things years ago, and I've learned funnels, I've learned the web pages, I've learned I can pixel pages, I can do the Google Analytics and all that stuff, but how it's translated into helping me build a business is the fact that I've been able to take average people, in fact, below average people that have no real business background of any kind, no network marketing, and in a lot of cases, no credibility or influence, and plug them in with the systems that I create, in which I'm going to teach you and tell you what these are as we go through these, and help them have bigger and better and faster success, which is kind of the tagline of my podcast, helping you build it bigger and faster. Okay, one of which I'll give you a perfect example is a lot of people always talk about the introduction, like you got to go recruit people. Like I'm always about recruiting. I think that recruiting is the most highly paid skill you can have in network marketing. I've also seen that if you can always recruit your way out of any slump. You can always recruit your way into any any promotions. You can always recruit your way into these things. And because I learned that a long time ago, I've been able to systematize, that's actually a word, systematize the way I've approached my business in the fact that I now have people that when they join me, I literally just plug them into a system that takes them from point A to point B to point C, then allows them to introduce people very systematically into the opportunity quickly, efficiently, and so on, to the point that my brand new person can get in, not know anything, but just be smart enough to basically share some content, share some information stuff, invite somebody to look at something, and then the system itself actually does most of the heavy lifting for them, to the point that that new person gets a person. And then guess what, the person who got a person got in. My, in fact, kind of goal a lot of times when I build a business is to have a bunch of people that are have no idea almost what they're in, except they're making money. Okay, so that's kind of in a nutshell. I think that that's something that I've put together that can do that, because systems are kind of the leverage that just basically takes, like I said, ordinary people and gives them the ability to succeed. And I think that's the problem too with what network marketing has become, or has been for many, many years, is a lot of people are intimidated to do certain things. Now, I'm not saying, let me give you a disclaimer here. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be very, very good at personal development, okay? Because in most cases, most people are only going to join you if they know you, like you, and trust you, right? We've heard that. Know you, like you, trust you. And but in a lot of cases, if you are just a fun, happy person that they know, like, and trust, that when you just deliver certain things to them, put them in kind of the strategic order of things, that they can actually be introduced to the business model stuff, or whatever your opportunity is, that it will actually walk them through the process to the point that they're in, regardless of how smart you are or what you do. And I think that's one of the things that's helped me. Like I have a lot of people that go and watch all my YouTube videos on all the trainings I do. You can actually look me up on YouTube, Mike Healy. Just type in Mike Healy YouTube and you'll see most of the videos. You see my face on there. You might even be watching this on my channel right now, so make sure you subscribe. But I believe that due to today's day and age, that you have to approach network marketing from a completely different standpoint. And also you have to think about, from a system standpoint, the way people communicate in today's day and age. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I personally right now have recruited in my current opportunity, as the date I'm recording this, 288 personals in 11 months. And it's almost 100% been completely automated, hands off. And it's almost, you hear the phrase attraction marketing, but it's literally like that. People literally will call me and sign up with me and know just about everything they need to know before I've even actually had a physical or real conversation with them. I've also, my organization's has a few thousand people in it now, and it's actually been done, check this out, okay, and this is kind of strange because most people can't even fathom this, but I have yet to do a single in-person hotel or home meeting of any kind. And I know that's very, very strange, and I'm like, maybe right now people are looking at this or hearing this and thinking that can't even be possible in network marketing from everything I've heard. I'm here to tell you that it is absolutely 100% possible, because I've proven it. And I did a quick case study in another company, and was literally in 90 days one of the top income earners and top recruiters in that company. and I use the exact same strategy. So I'm going to teach those strategies throughout these podcasts and the videos that I do, based on, again, wherever you're watching this. But I believe that if you follow me on some of the things that I'm going to teach you throughout these podcasts, you start to adopt some of those, adapt to those things that I teach you, learn the philosophies, learn the strategies, and figure out how you can apply them in your current business, you're going to see that your effort level is going to stay fairly consistent, and you won't get burned out as quick. You'll probably have more of a belief level that you can actually create a big business in network marketing versus, just the struggle, and so on. And I obviously know everybody's got to go through that to really learn and develop their character for what they want to do with their business. But I think that as I go through these things, I'm going to teach you some stuff that's going to just absolutely blow your mind on how to build a team, to correctly engage them, to get the teams to do the right things, the core tasks, the vital behaviors, the way to develop systems. You can have your own systems. I'll show you all that stuff. But I think you're going to really enjoy this. So I kind of was all over the place on my very first podcast here. I don't want to take too long on my first one. I just want to get it out there, get people to kind of plug in, subscribe, figure it out. You can look it up on iTunes. It'll be on all the other podcast networks, Spreaker, things like that. You can look it up under the MLM Mastermind by Mike Healy. That's me. And I think you're going to really, really enjoy as I kind of go through this, because really what I'm going to do is just kind of become an open book to you and lay out everything that I've learned, everything that I do, everything that I teach, all the things. And I really believe that if you listen to these, there's going to be a lot of light bulb moments that you're going to go, oh, I was missing that, or oh, I was missing that, or oh, I'm going to implement that. And you're going to see your success rate and your conviction and your belief is going to go through the roof. And in most cases, people build to the level of their belief. Okay, most people build to the level of their belief, and those are the things I'm going to make sure that you understand when we're on here. So thanks again for listening, and I'll tell you this, I always close most of my trainings with this. I don't know if I'll do it every time, but I've been doing it for so many years. But I say this quote that I heard from Art Williams a long time ago. I'm pretty sure that's where I heard. He said, if you'll do today what others won't, you will live tomorrow like others can't. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next episode.